Help! My kid wants to be a professional athlete. Let's talk about it on the Baseball Brewhaha. Welcome to the Baseball Brewhaha. I'm Aaron, joined by my twin brother Adam, and today we're talking about our kids want to be professional athletes, so they say.
So I don't know about you, Aaron. What kind of feelings come to the surface for you? Is it excitement, a little anxiety, a little pride, a little
Yeah.
hesitation?
Mm-hmm.
What comes up for you when you hear your kids talking about I'm going pro?
Well, so for me, I have four kids, three girls and a boy. And so my son has said he wants to be a professional baseball player in particular. And the thing that's been hilarious about this is that last summer, this summer we played a bunch of baseball. We played a bunch of baseball. We played once a week last year. So we can get into this to another show, but we haven't done a league in the last couple of years. We've just done kind of pickup games with some friends. He never wanted to play. This summer was better, much better. He wanted to play.
I've had a somewhat similar experience, though. My son is older. I also have four kids. I have two boys, two girls. Um, and one of my sons, he wants to play in the NBA.
Mhm.
And I've had a somewhat similar experience where he says he wants to play in the NBA. He wants to play on these like select basketball teams that are kind of expensive. We buy the basketball hoop for the front driveway, and then he's not out there.
Yeah, this summer saw actually out throwing the tennis ball on the daily, throwing the tennis ball off the side of the garage, running it down. And this summer in particular, I saw my son's skills increase dramatically. The ability to catch the ball, throw it, hit it, everything increased dramatically. The thing that's been kind of a fascinating. You talked about the different teams, is that I've with baseball in particular, I've really struggled with putting him into a league. For me, though, getting back to your original question, at this point, it's just like stoicism. I know I kind of have a really like I want to dismiss it for one, but I don't want to discourage him. I don't want to say like it's not possible and just like belittle the desire, because I had a desire similar to that when I was younger. So I don't want to belittle it, but there's no reason to get excited about that. There's no reason to feel like, oh, okay, then that means he's going to do it, and let's put all of our effort, let's put all of our resources into this thing, because I don't know if he's going to want to do it even 2 years from now.
But so you're talking a little bit about what you're projecting outwardly, and that's that stoic um,
Mm-hmm.
lack of
Like to,
emotion, lack of excitement. You're not worried. You're
mm-hmm.
not. But
Mm-hmm.
inside of Dad, what was that feeling for you when your son says, "I want to play in the MLB. I'll make it to the show, Pop."
I mean, to be honest with you, the first time he said it, it was like nothing. It was kind of like, okay, today I want a remote control car. To be honest, it wasn't like I didn't feel like proud dad. I'll be honest. I didn't. It wasn't like. I mean, it was like great. I want to play with you. I want to help you develop. Um, but it wasn't like I honestly I didn't have that feeling at all. It felt a bit more, much more like, oh, he saw Legos at the store and wanted to buy Legos. I mean, we watch games at we'll watch Mariner games, and so he watches the game. He's like, I want to be a professional baseball player. So
So for your son, the way that the conversation went, where he said, "I want to be a pro baseball player," could have been he was watching something else. He was watching a an actor or a firefighter and
mhm.
said, "I want to be a firefighter."
Yeah. Now, I mean, to be honest, he's never said those things about those occupations. We do watch a lot of Mariners baseball games together. So, and it's like, I like baseball. They make a lot of money. I want to be a professional baseball player. I don't. I think it's just normal. You and I have the perspective of knowing that it takes a significant amount of work to even become professional minor league, let alone be a major league baseball player. So, um, what about for you though? So, um, do you have the proud dad? Do you have the like, yeah, let's do it? Like, what's been your response to that inside on the insides?
I had two at the same time. So the first response I think
Mhm.
was I was happy for him that he had something that he really loves to do
Yeah.
and he's really passionate about and he can see himself doing something about it today, tomorrow, and for years and years and years. But I had maybe a moment of hesitation or even anxiety for him, knowing how difficult it is to get from here to there.
Hmm.
And the there are a lot of resources that's required, time, money, a lot of times,
Hmm.
access to certain resources, that coaching, all kinds of different things, buying the equipment that we just don't have.
Yeah.
And so the anxiety and hesitation for me is wanting great things for him and recognizing that the likelihood of him reaching the NBA is is pretty slim, pretty close to non-existent.
Right. Yeah. So, what have you done to this point to sort of allow that to have some legs and for him to enjoy playing and that kind of thing?
I try and balance the support with being realistic, and so we bought a hoop to put in the driveway so he can practice whenever he wants.
Hmm.
We put him on a little bit more expensive, but also more competitive basketball team. But that also came with recognizing that we can't do that all year round every year. We just don't have the resources for that. So we're having conversations that are balanced, where we're honoring his desire and his passion, but setting some limits around what our family is capable of, because he's one of four kids that have passions and have things that they want to do as well.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That's a really good thought. And again, your son's um, a little bit older than mine in terms of this, and so I mentioned this before, just briefly. We haven't done a league for baseball for the last couple of years, and in particular, one of the main reasons is that they start kid pitch at 9 years old in the city I live in, and it is for development. It is not good. It is very bad, and so doing so what we've done is basically done pickup baseball games in an effort to give more repetition. You take the parents' emotions out of it. Even a rec league, forbid we lose a rec league baseball game. and you allow the kids just to go out and have fun and play. And that's really been the way, in terms of the realism and the balance, is like making sure I have opportunity when he says, Dad, can we play catch? Can I pitch to you? That I'm giving him that opportunity. And then we're also playing baseball, and we're simulated games and that sort of a thing, to provide the opportunity to play. And we, you know, by doing that and having enough kids that we're able to wrangle together, we can get that experience of playing baseball without really having to pay the money at this point, because as you're experiencing, as you shared about, it's expensive to do these the select teams, and more competitive. We get more practices, you get more of that. So anyway.
Yeah, and with the money too, because he's at an age where he should be owning it more,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is not my dream for him. Not that I'm not supporting it, but it's not for me. It's for
Mm-hmm.
him. And so he's earning money, and we have told him there are sort of like these rec leagues that are lower than the select level, and we'll pay for that league. But if you want to play select, you've got to use your own money to pay the difference, which he's chosen to do, which is an indicator to me,
Mm-hmm.
and within our family, that this is something that he's committed to. And so taking more of my time and my energy and resources to invest into him is a more worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I love that, having some skin in the game, that you're choosing to make an investment. And like you said, I think, you know, other people, you out there watching, you don't know our context, but having a kid who's, two,
We could do more about, like, did we want to
yeah,
be so we could do
but
more if
this
you
would be a
want.
separate show. But to do
Yeah.
that one, what we might end up want to shift to, is like maybe trying to silo the section, sort of sections. I don't know how easy that is, but all right, let's do it since we're recording. 7 minutes. So, Adam, let's summarize this for folks watching, uh, and they want to. We want to summarize, package a little bit for how do you. Your kid says he wants to be a professional athlete. How do you encourage, but also keep it real?
We got to balance the support with being realistic, and the realism is not only the uh, the likelihood or low likelihood that they reach professional status, but also what is realistic within the boundaries and resources of your family. You and I
Mm-hmm.
both have 4 kids. We can't have one child dictate the entire schedule of a family of 6. So that's not realistic. We've got budget limitations.
Mm-hmm.
We've we've got the limitations of resources too. Maybe depending on where you live and what you have access to. But at the same time, you balance that with following the lead of your child. You're excited about basketball. You're excited about baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Take that as far as you want it to go.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great explanation. I would, the only thing I would add more to that is just, it's providing opportunities for them to develop within the context that fits your family. And so, um, there is no prescription. And I think the thing that a lot of parents get caught up in, and we'll talk about this, perhaps more at a different time, is that I think we can get ourselves into the mix of that. And then we want to launch them into a competitive league, and maybe it's not the best fit for them. And so, starting with providing the opportunities that fit within the context of your family, and then allowing that to expand and grow, as your kid develops and in that as that desire continues to grow as well. So I hope that was helpful. We're going to transition a bit here because we love opening baseball cards, and that seems completely out of context here with what we're talking about. But we're going to do something fun here. I got a package of 2000 or 2024 Heritage baseball cards, and we're going to do a little game here. We're going to go through this pack. We're going to say which one of these players best fits kind of the athlete or the character that is our kid at this stage in life. So, if you want to participate, you got a kid in a similar situation, drop that in the comments below. Which one fits your kid, or which one maybe fit you? What you were like as an athlete growing up. So, here we go.
Well, and I love the connection here too, because so much for kids at this age, I want to be a pro athlete. Your
Hmm.
son's collecting baseball cards. My son's
Yep.
collecting basketball cards, and they're thinking about, I want to be on a card, or I want a career like this player or that player. So,
Hmm.
the collecting of cards and other things, uniforms, jerseys, whatever, it's a key part of that experience of, hey, dad, I want to be a pro athlete.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, the first card up here is we've got a National League, or we got a MVP 2016 little throwback, Mike Trout and Chris Bryant. Okay. So log that one away. We got Reed Detmers, Jeff McNeil, Jordan Adams, Charlie Blackman, Jackson Wolf, Gabriel Moreno, Michael Lorenzen. We're going to finish it off with Brian Reynolds. So, um, did one of those stick out for you, Adam?
The one that sticks out for me in that pack is Gabby Moreno of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I watch a lot of Diamondbacks games, so I have the privilege of knowing a little bit more about him and his game. Um, he's a solid player, and more than anything, he's a glue guy. You can trust him. He's consistent in what he brings to the table. A solid competitor, a solid person within the clubhouse. That's where I see my son. He's not the superstar on the team, but you know what you're going to get, and he's going to bring positive things to the team every day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. I'm going here with I had a little toss up. I'm going to go a little Jeff McNeil right now. Um, my son's a little bit undersized for his age. He doesn't pack a huge punch, but he's really developed his fundamentals, and he's worked on things to get better at just the basics: hitting, fielding, throwing, and he's really improved a lot this summer. And so I get a little of the undersize, a little of the scrappiness. It's a good fit for him. So
That's a great comparison. I can see your son in Jeff McNeil in so many ways. Uh, if you're watching along, you were thinking about for yourself or for your own kids, let us know what player is your kid most like right now. And maybe it's not one of these in the pack, maybe it's a different one.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us today in this conversation. You've got more to add to it. Drop it in the comments below. We have more around this topic for ourselves and our kids to unpack in future shows. So stick around with us. We got more to talk about. We'll be back at it again next week. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you next time.